In this book, Sadhguru guides us on a profound exploration of the human mind, body, and spirit, revealing the secrets of ancient wisdom and techniques for achieving a life of inner peace and fulfillment. The introduction sets the tone for the rest of the book, inviting us to embark on a journey of self-exploration and discovery. Sadhguru introduces us to the concept of inner engineering, which involves the practice of yoga, meditation, and other ancient practices to create a life of joy, peace, and well-being. Sadhguru shares his personal journey of spiritual awakening, recounting his experiences of intense meditation and self-discovery, and how it has transformed his life. He also emphasizes the importance of finding a guru or a teacher to guide us on our journey and to help us unlock the hidden potential within us. Through his writing, Sadhguru challenges our preconceived notions of spirituality, and encourages us to question our beliefs and explore the true nature of our existence. He shares his insights into the human mind, body, and spirit, and how we can tap into the immense power within us to create a life of joy, peace, and fulfillment. In this book, Sadhguru presents a compelling case for why inner engineering is essential for our well-being and happiness, and he provides practical tools and techniques to help us get there. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced practitioner, this book offers something for everyone who is looking to live a life of inner peace and fulfillment. So, join us on this journey of self-discovery, and let's explore the depths of our being together. Chapter 1: A Note to the Reader. In the first chapter, Sadhguru addresses the reader directly and provides some guidance on how to approach the book. He explains that the book is not meant to be a theoretical text, but rather a practical guide that provides tools and techniques for individuals to transform their inner selves. The author emphasizes that the book is not about teaching a particular religion or belief system, but rather about helping individuals to discover their own inner nature and find their own path towards inner transformation. He encourages the reader to approach the book with an open mind and to be willing to try out the practices and techniques described in the book. Sadhguru also highlights the importance of taking responsibility for one's own well-being and not relying on external factors for happiness. He explains that the practices described in the book can help individuals cultivate inner peace and joy, and ultimately lead to a more fulfilling life. Overall, the first chapter serves as an introduction to the book and sets the tone for what is to come. It encourages the reader to approach the book with an open mind and a willingness to explore the deeper dimensions of their own being. Chapter 2: When I Lost My Sense. In Chapter 2, Sadhguru recounts an incident from his childhood where he lost his sense of identity and his connection to the external world. He explains that this experience was a turning point in his life and led him to explore the deeper dimensions of his own being. The author explains that this experience taught him that our sense of identity and our connection to the external world are not fixed, but rather are constantly changing. He emphasizes the importance of recognizing the impermanence of our external reality and cultivating a deeper connection to our inner selves. Sadhguru also explains that the practices of yoga and meditation can help individuals cultivate this deeper connection to their inner selves and can ultimately lead to a more fulfilling life. He encourages the reader to approach these practices with an open mind and to be willing to explore the deeper dimensions of their own being. Overall, Chapter 2 provides a personal account of Sadhguru's own journey towards inner transformation and highlights the importance of recognizing the impermanence of our external reality and cultivating a deeper connection to our inner selves. Before we continue, we would like to inform you that we release these summaries in audio format on Spotify before we release them on YouTube in video format, with subtitles. We have also created a goldmine of information which you can get exclusive access to by supporting us on Patreon. You get in-depth summaries plus scripts, usually twice the length of our YouTube content, a list of the top 20 key takeaways and exercises, summary requests, and more. Thank you for the support and don't forget to hit the like button. Chapter 3: The Way Out is In. In Chapter 3, Sadhguru explains that the key to finding true joy and fulfillment is by looking inward rather than outward. He explains that our sense of identity and our connection to the external world are constantly changing and that true joy and fulfillment can only be found by connecting with our inner selves. The author emphasizes the importance of inner engineering as a means of cultivating this deeper connection to our inner selves. He explains that the practices of yoga and meditation can help us to become more aware of our inner nature and to cultivate a sense of inner peace and well-being. Sadhguru also highlights the importance of self-transformation as a means of improving our external reality. He explains that when we transform ourselves from within, we are better able to navigate the challenges of the external world and to live a more fulfilling life. Overall, Chapter 3 emphasizes the importance of looking inward for true joy and fulfillment and provides an introduction to the practices of inner engineering. Chapter 4: Design Your Destiny. In Chapter 4, Sadhguru emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our own destiny and designing our lives in a way that aligns with our inner nature. He explains that we all have the power to create our own reality and that we can do so by aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our inner selves. The author provides practical tools and techniques for designing our own destiny, including the use of visualization and affirmation. He explains that by visualizing our desired outcome and affirming our belief in it, we can manifest it into reality. Sadhguru also highlights the importance of surrendering to the universe and allowing it to guide us towards our destiny. He explains that when we align our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our inner selves and surrender to the universe, we can live a more fulfilling life. Overall, Chapter 4 provides practical guidance for designing our own destiny and emphasizes the importance of aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions with our inner selves. Chapter 5, No Boundary, No Burden. In Chapter 5 of Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy, Sadhguru discusses the concept of boundarylessness and how it can liberate us from the burdens of the mind. He explains that the mind creates boundaries in our perception of the world, and that these boundaries can limit our experience of life. The author emphasizes the importance of breaking down these boundaries through inner engineering practices such as yoga and meditation. He explains that by expanding our consciousness and breaking down these boundaries, we can experience a greater sense of freedom and joy. Sadhguru also provides practical guidance for breaking down these boundaries, including the use of breath and body awareness, as well as the practice of non-judgmental observation. Overall, Chapter 5 emphasizes the importance of breaking down the boundaries created by the mind and experiencing the world in a more boundaryless way, providing practical guidance for doing so through inner engineering practices. Chapter 6. And now, Yoga. In Chapter 6, Sadhguru provides an introduction to the practice of yoga, explaining that yoga is not simply a physical exercise, but a means of inner transformation. He explains that the physical postures of yoga are just one aspect of the practice and that the ultimate goal of yoga is to achieve a state of union between the individual self and the universal consciousness. The author highlights the importance of approaching yoga as a holistic practice, integrating the physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of the practice. He also emphasizes the importance of regular practice and dedication in order to achieve the full benefits of yoga. Sadhguru provides practical guidance for beginning a yoga practice, including the importance of finding a qualified teacher and practicing with awareness and discipline. He also provides an overview of the various types of yoga, including Hatha Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Overall, Chapter 6 provides an introduction to the practice of yoga and emphasizes the importance of approaching it as a holistic practice for inner transformation. It also provides practical guidance for beginning a yoga practice and an overview of the different types of yoga. Chapter 7, The Nature of the Mind. In this chapter, Sadhguru talks about the nature of the mind and how it can either be a wonderful tool or a terrible master. He explains that the mind is a tool that we can use to create our reality, but if we let it control us, it can lead to suffering and misery. He emphasizes the importance of learning to use the mind as a tool rather than being used by it. He also explains that the mind is like a mirror that reflects the outside world, but the reflection is not the reality. Therefore, it is important to understand that the mind's perception is not always accurate and can be influenced by our past experiences, beliefs, and emotions. Sadhguru suggests that through inner engineering practices such as meditation and self-awareness, we can learn to observe and understand our mind's nature, which will allow us to use it more effectively. Chapter 8, Body. In this chapter, Sadhguru discusses the importance of taking care of our physical body. He explains that our body is the foundation of our well-being and that neglecting it can lead to various health problems. He suggests that we should treat our body as a temple and take care of it by eating healthy food, exercising regularly, getting enough sleep, and avoiding harmful substances such as alcohol and drugs. Sadhguru also emphasizes the importance of becoming aware of our body and its sensations, as this can help us understand our physical and emotional state. He suggests that through yoga and other inner engineering practices, we can learn to become more aware of our body and its needs, which can lead to better health and well-being. Sadhguru concludes the chapter by stating that the body is a tool that can be used to achieve higher states of consciousness, and taking care of it is an essential step towards this goal. Chapter 9, Mind. In Chapter 9, Sadhguru talks about the mind and its role in shaping our lives. He explains how the mind is an excellent tool when used correctly, but it can also be our greatest enemy when not used properly. The mind is the only tool that we have to perceive, think, and understand the world around us. The quality of our mind determines the quality of our life. Sadhguru describes the mind as a pendulum that swings between the past and future, causing us to miss the present moment. When we dwell on past memories or future possibilities, we miss the opportunities that the present moment offers. He encourages readers to learn to focus the mind and bring it to the present moment. By doing so, we can experience life more fully and find peace in the present moment. Sadhguru also addresses the role of the ego in shaping the mind. He explains that the ego is not a bad thing in itself but can be detrimental when we identify too closely with it. Our ego is the sense of I that we carry around with us, and it is constantly seeking validation and approval from others. When we identify too closely with our ego, we become prisoners of our thoughts and emotions, unable to see the world objectively. To overcome the limitations of the mind, Sadhguru recommends a practice called Shambhavi Mahamudra. This practice involves focusing the mind and body through a series of breathing exercises and meditative techniques. Shambhavi Mahamudra helps us to overcome the limitations of the mind and ego, allowing us to experience life more fully and find peace within ourselves. Chapter 10, Energy. In Chapter 10, Sadhguru explains the concept of energy and how it influences our lives. He explains that everything in the universe is energy, and we are no exception. We are not just physical bodies, but we also have an energetic dimension that is essential to our well-being. Sadhguru explains that there are two types of energy within us, prana and chitta. Prana is the life force that flows through our bodies, and chitta is the mental energy that powers our thoughts and emotions. When prana and chitta are balanced, we experience a sense of well-being and happiness. However, when these energies are out of balance, we experience stress, anxiety, and other negative emotions. Sadhguru explains that the practice of yoga and meditation can help to balance our energy and bring us back to a state of well-being. Yoga and meditation work by calming the mind and regulating the breath, which helps to balance our energy. Sadhguru also talks about the importance of maintaining our energy levels throughout the day. He recommends taking short breaks throughout the day to rest and recharge our energy. He also recommends being mindful of our energy levels and avoiding activities that drain our energy unnecessarily. In conclusion, Sadhguru emphasizes that understanding and managing our energy is essential to living a happy and fulfilling life. By practicing yoga, meditation, and mindfulness, we can balance our energy and experience a greater sense of well-being. Chapter 11, Joy. In this chapter, Sadhguru discusses joy and how it is different from happiness. He explains that happiness is a fleeting emotion that is often based on external circumstances, while joy is a constant state of being that comes from within. Sadhguru describes joy as a natural state of existence, which is not dependent on any external factors. He emphasizes that we can experience joy at any moment, regardless of what is happening around us. He argues that true joy comes from a deep sense of contentment and fulfillment within ourselves, rather than from external pleasures. The author stresses that we often mistakenly seek happiness through external means, such as money, relationships, or material possessions. However, these sources of happiness are temporary and fleeting, and we soon find ourselves seeking more. To experience joy, Sadhguru advises us to focus on our inner well-being rather than external pleasures. He suggests that we cultivate a sense of inner peace, contentment, and harmony by practicing yoga, meditation, and other spiritual practices. The chapter concludes with Sadhguru reminding us that joy is not something to be pursued or attained, rather, it is our natural state of being. By realizing this, we can let go of the need for external sources of happiness and experience the true joy that lies within us. Conclusion. In the conclusion of Inner Engineering, Sadhguru emphasizes that the process of inner engineering is not just about intellectual understanding, but it is a lived experience that requires one's active involvement. He urges readers to embrace the tools and techniques he has shared in the book and to incorporate them into their daily lives. Sadhguru also stresses that the goal of inner engineering is not to escape from the world or to become disconnected from it. Instead, it is about developing a new level of consciousness that allows us to fully engage with life while remaining centered and joyful within ourselves. He encourages readers to stay committed to their own inner transformation, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. He reminds us that this is a lifelong journey, and that the process of inner engineering is not something that can be completed in a fixed period of time. Finally, Sadhguru emphasizes the importance of sharing the benefits of inner engineering with others. He believes that the world can be transformed one person at a time, and that by sharing our own transformation with others, we can help to create a better world for all. Overall, the conclusion of Inner Engineering is a call to action for readers to embrace the process of inner transformation and to commit to living a more conscious and joyful life.